Hello, learners. Welcome to the channel Be a Learner. We are studying about the making of the global world, part 4. You're welcome. In the last part, we had studied about the labors, the three different movements. Now, let us study ahead what happened more in the 19th century. We had studied what happened in the beginning till mid 19th. Let us see ahead. In 1890, a global agricultural economy had taken shape. Slowly, the economy was developing because of agriculture, and second thing was because of the labor. Now, the labor movement patterns were also changed. The capital flows was coming in. The ecology was developing. It was more focused on technology. Food no longer came from a nearby village or the town. It was coming 1,000 miles away. It was not grown by a peasant tilling his own land, but by an agriculture worker, perhaps recently arrived, who was now working on a large farm that only a generation ago had most likely been a forest. Earlier, that place no one was ready to work, but because of capital flow, ecology, and technology, and the most important thing, the labor's effort. The food was coming from different places. People were getting whatever they want. Just they have to demand. Within few days, the food product used to come to them. Like in today's world, we have become so much global. If you want any shoe or say just a purse from a London, easily you can buy from online. Within a week, it will reach up to you. That is nothing but the global world. Some of this dramatic change, though on a smaller scale, occurred closer home in the West Punjab. Here, the British Indian government built a network of irrigation canals to transform the semi desert waste into a fertile agricultural land. What they thought the desert was not of use, so they were trying to convert the semi desert into a fertile agricultural land. So on that fertile agricultural land, they can produce different crops, grains, and different farming can be done. Floriculture, horticulture, cotton can be grown. Different products can be grown on that fertile agricultural land. Into the fertile agricultural lands that could grow wheat and cotton for export. Wheat and cotton was in a great demand, and to export that, they were converting the desert into fertile agricultural lands. The canal colonies, as the areas irrigated by the new channels, were called and were settled by the peasants from other parts of Punjab. People were called from different places so that the work can be done faster as soon as possible. It should be completed and they are ready to do farming at that place. Of course, food is merely an example. A similar story can be told for cotton, the cultivation of which expanded worldwide to feed British textile mills, or rubber. Indeed, so rapidly did the regional specialization in the production of the commodities develop. In a small place, more laborers were kept to work so that the work gets completed as soon as possible. Where the work was going to complete in 1 month, it just completed in 10 days. Means you can try to understand how eager they were to export the material. Nearly 60% of this trade comprised primary products, that is, agriculture products such as wheat, cotton, minerals such as coal, was exported from Punjab to other countries. Now, let us see what was the role of technology. What was the role of technology in this development in the 19th century? The railways, the steamships, the telegraph were important inventions without which we can't even imagine there could be any transformation. Because for any order, whether it is export, import, we need telegraph or any connection to reach to that person, right? So, sending a message is also very important. After that, once the message has reached, the material should come at our place. For that purpose, we need some transport. So, this all things were there, and that's why the transformation could take place. So, technology is very important. Slowly, slowly, the engineers they made few difference and even they made technological advance like colonization stimulated new investment and improvements in transport. Earlier, one train took 3 days to travel from one place to another. Slowly, slowly, it became 2 days, and later it became 1 day. And nowadays, many faster trains are available. For example, from Mumbai to Gujarat, hardly we can reach in 2 hours. Mumbai to Ahmedabad, 3 hours we can reach just within 3 hours. Fastest railways are there. The country is developing. It's becoming global. We are coming closer. So, faster railways were developed, lighter wagons and larger ships helped move food more cheaply and quickly from faraway farms to final markets. So, this how the technology played important role in the success of 19th century. The trade in the meat offers is a good example of the connected process. Till 1870, animals were shipped live from America to Europe and then they were slaughtered. But slowly, slowly, when the train's connectivity was very faster, the food was reaching within 10 hours, then the meat were exported, not the animals. Earlier, the animals were exported and afterwards they were slaughtered at their place. Once the connectivity became good, then the meat was exported or imported. Many also died in the voyage, fell ill, lost weight, became unfit. Meat was hence an expensive luxury beyond the reach of European poor. Few Europeans were poor, they were not able to purchase. Meat was very costly at that time. Hardly rich people used to eat it. High price in turn kept demand and production very well. And this how the development of a new technology gave rise to good economy. And then came the refrigerator to keep the meat good. The refrigerator came. The business of refrigerator started increasing. People were purchasing so that they can keep the meat fresh and provide the customer in a fresh and good quality. Slowly, slowly, that business started from all over the different places. And the refrigerator were exported to long distance also. Now the animals were slaughtered for food at the starting point and afterwards the meat was supplied in America, Australia or New Zealand and then transported to Europe as a frozen meat. This reduced shipping cost and lowered meat prices in Europe. Then the poor people in Europe were able to consume that meat. To the earlier monotony of bread and potatoes, all could now add meat also, as well as butter and eggs to their diet. Earlier, they were only dependent on bread and potatoes. Slowly, slowly, they started eating the meat, butter, and eggs. Better living conditions promoted social peace within the country. What does the people want? A good food and a good family to stay happy. I'm talking about the 19th century. Next, let us see late 19th century. Yeah, exactly. About the colonialism. Trade flourished, markets expanded, everything was set. Everything was growing in a fast speed. But this was not only a period of expanding trade, it also increased the prosperity. It is important to realize that there was a darker side to this process. Each coin has two sides, in that way also, where there is bright side, there is a dark side also. So, let us see about that. In many parts of the world, the expansion of the trade and the closer relationship with the world economy also meant a loss of freedom and livelihoods. Late 19th century European conquest produced many painful economic, social, and ecological changes because of migration. Some people were migrating only themselves. There was no one to look after their family. They were sending the money, but who knows whether the money was reaching to them or no. They were dying of starvation. Many places, this was the dark side where they were facing problems, and it was creating a problem for laborers to go and stay at some other place. Look at the map of Africa. You will see some countries' borders run straight as if they were drawn using a ruler. Well, in fact, this was almost how the rival European powers in Africa drew up the borders, demarcating their respective territories. Slowly in 1885, the big European powers met in the Berlin to complete the carving of Africa between them. And then the Britain and the France made vast additions to the territories in the late 19th century. It was a great period, 100 years you can say. Belgium and Germany became new colonial powers. The US also became a colonial power in the late 1890s by taking over some colonies either earlier held by Spain. Let us look at one example of the destructive impact of colonialism on the economy and livelihoods of colonized people. I hope you have understood till here. We will again meet in the next part. Till then, read the lesson carefully. Read each and every line very carefully. If you don't know any meaning of any word, take a dictionary, but understanding the meaning is very important. Then only you can understand the story. And this chapter is very important, the making of the global world. Don't forget to subscribe my channel. Thank you. Have a great day. See you in the next video.